Hi, I'm Paul Dayton. I'm here to give you sort of the quick pitch for my first book, Correcting Our Financial Miseducation, Raising the Bar for the Average, about which you can learn more at my website, pauldayton.us. Raising the bar for the average could be restated as elevating the standard for ordinary. Some people misinterpret it as sort of trying to put something, the average are here, and I want to put something higher where they can't reach it. That's not the case. I want to elevate the standard for ordinary so that everybody is better. The whole world is better. Uh, Basically, do the opposite of what central planners advocate. In this book, this is sort of a manual of sorts. It's for everybody, but it's aimed at young people, like 16 to 25-year-olds, people who are sort of just getting started in life, making decisions about, their career and important financial decisions, credit, college, home buying, starting a business, and the temptations of, say, drug dealing or bookmaking, and all these things that everybody struggles with or at least encounters. So we spend half on personal finance. The second half, the first half is trying to teach you how to become free, how to gain your freedom by, making good decisions financially. Money is freedom. Lack thereof, lack of money is definitely brings restriction. So the first half tries to help the person become free. The second half is how not to screw up that freedom on election day. How to see through the promises of, a free ride or sort of the illusion of being able to steal from your neighbor through the mechanism of a politician. While that does reduce violent crime and direct crime, it doesn't reduce total crime, right? It's still just theft. And the theft, what it takes from is it reduces the whole in ways that are less obvious than just hating somebody, your neighbor, because they have more than you do, and pretending that it's justified to steal from them simply because you're envious. Things that would be a mindset that would appeal to a child, age-appropriate behavior for a child, perhaps an adolescent, but certainly no adult could ever be taken seriously behaving that way. So this one we talk about the college business. I mean, you're confronted with people who, politicians, newscasters, who out of one side of their mouth say that college is so worthless that nobody who went there or nobody who bought that should ever have to actually pay for it. And the very next sentence, many times, is it's so valuable that you must be forced to pay for it for your neighbor. Well, obviously both can't be true, so which one is it? And we look here, we use, obviously speak the language of evidence, and basically, long story short, everybody cannot go to the front of the line. In 1940, when 1 out of 20 American adults had one college certificate or more, even if it wasn't that beneficial, if you weren't really learning anything, it was just putting people into this club. Even if that was the case, still, when only 1 out of 20 people have it, you will get to the front of the line for a job interview or a bank loan or whatever the case may be. As you get towards the end of the 20th century, in 1990, 1 out of 4 American adults has at least one college certificate, and then by 2020, 1 out of 3 American adults, both men and women, have at least one college certificate. What you have is, 2 very long lines to get into to try to get a job or a loan and so forth. And so it's clearly not worth the big premium being paid. The difference in net worth between somebody who just gets a regular job, saves their money, and does some rather simple investing. Very low risk investing. I stack the deck in favor of going to college in this book. And still, going to college after 4 years, even if the person graduates on time, gets a job right on the average for their field the day they graduate, they have a net worth of $60,000 less than the person who just got a regular job, saved 20% of their money, and bought a duplex, an owner-occupied duplex, which they move into and get their first rent check the day the other person graduates from college. $60,000 worse off, poorer, than the person who didn't go to college, and they have the same average weekly income. So you can learn more about that in greater detail. We talk about things even the young people would do. What are you really making any money delivering pizzas or people or whatever the case may be with your own car? There's a few pages on that with lots of statistics. Talk about the great failure of socialism, known commonly as the New Deal. How Roosevelt, I'll even just read from the back cover here, how Roosevelt and his Confederates prolonged the failure of government and made worse and increased the privation of the masses. It went on for 10 years. We talk about the preceding crises in banking before the Fed became involved. Again, another central planning element, another mechanism designed to replace private business owners and run their business better than the business owners themselves know how to do, which failed miserably, fumbled the whole thing, fumbled many things that they had before them, which were handled by private businesses much more successfully. 1873, 1893, 1907 are three specific examples in this book, all within the memory of people in the 1930s who were in the Congress and making these laws. These are not some distant memory for them. I mean, 1873 is as far back from 1930 as 1964 is from 2020 or something like that. So today's people, I mean, what happened in the mid 60s, the moon mission, the space race with the U.S. and Russia. You have the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the assassination of President Kennedy. I mean, these are things that are not irretrievable to a present day audience by any means. So anyway, there's that. We talk about a solution for Social Security, a specific solution, which I offer in this book, a solution to the paid to fail problem, the handouts for the healthy, the welfare trap, ensnaring so many people, particularly young people, political solution for that. So there's so much in this book that you can learn about personal finance. What is money? What is a career? How should you build your portfolio? If you're in a job and you're dependent fully on, all your money comes from one place. You have one customer, one source of revenue. It's a job working for somebody else. If you go from, I don't know, a regular worker to an assistant manager to a manager, are you really moving up the career ladder? Or are you still just a dependent wage slave? The answer is the latter. How do you take that money and build your own portfolio? So that I would like to see the bar for the bar for the average become in personal finance that each household, once the parents or adults, if there are no kids, are approximately the age of 40, make half of their own money themselves, meaning not half the money that they earn, but half the money that they spend. So if their earnings are 70,000, but their spending is 30,000, I'm talking about half of that 30,000. If they make half that money themselves, the average family, think about how much more independent they would be, how much more well-off people would be. It's really not that unattainable. We'll have a culture of, instead of sitting around talking about mutual funds and the 401k becoming the bar for the average, which is better than nothing. But instead of that, people will just, you'll see private associations probably in which people are pooling money and buying real estate together, not through a REIT, not through a distant third party. I'm talking about actual hands-on management. There'll be 10 people, 5 people buying a pizzeria together and so on. That thing will become much more common if what I have in mind comes to fruition. We're talking about specific ways, the value of money. The fact that the S&P 500 return prior to 1990 is almost irrelevant, because with the tech boom in the 90s, the average yield became, I think, 1.7%, which is a far beneath the yield paid out prior to that. And it's simply because the opportunity for growth was there, plus the Fed making loans from the banks so much inexpensive made it such that companies were not going to pay a big dividend to invest with them. When it's cheaper, why wouldn't you just get a loan from the bank without having to give up any of your company? Right? They're not out there begging to entice people to invest with them. Specifics are in the book. My name is Paul Dayton. My website's pauldayton.us. This book is Correcting Our Financial Miseducation, Raising the Bar for the Average. I hope you'll check it out if you're looking to learn, your kids, your grandkids, anybody's looking to learn about any of these matters. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.